Jimin no longer replies to chat. Jungkook is the most restless. The shocking news comes from ARMY members who are starting to fret about the latest interaction, or rather, the lack of interaction between BTS's Jimin and Jungkook. Some loyal fans notice that Jimin, who is usually very responsive and active in replying to messages in group and private chat members, suddenly no longer responds. And of all the BTS members, one person seems to be the most affected, Jungkook. In recent days, the fanbase has started talking about Jungkook's behavior change, which seems increasingly restless and uncharacteristic. A video from behind the scenes of one of BTS's military projects shows Jungkook looking at his phone screen repeatedly, as if he was waiting for something. Some fans with piercing eyes even claimed that her expression turned moody and quieter than usual, especially after being mentioned sending several chats that did not get a reply from Jimin. Usually when Jimin is slow to respond, Jungkook is just joking or disturbing other members, wrote one ARMY and X, Twitter. But now he's really waiting. There's something different. Meanwhile, rumors began to spread about the possibility that Jimin was experiencing emotional exhaustion or might choose to calm down from the digital world for a while. Some fans suspect Jimin is under heavy pressure in the military or even undergoing healthcare that makes him not have time to hold a cell phone. Others suspected that there could be a small misunderstanding between the members that caused Jimin to choose to be silent for a while. However, Jungkook's anxiety made fans even more worried. A staffer who worked on BTS's military project had leaked that Jungkook was once seen alone in a corner of a room with an anxious face, holding his cell phone with the screen locked. He looked very unfocused and went back and forth checking notifications, the source said. When someone asked if he was okay, he just nodded slowly without saying anything. It didn't take long. The hashtags #WhereIsJimin and #JungkookWorriedForJimin immediately trending on various social media platforms. Fans from all over the world showed their support with the hope that Jimin was okay and Jungkook got some peace. On the other hand, there are also those who actually associate this silence with something more personal. Some ARMY believe that the emotional connection between Jimin and Jungkook is not uncommon. The two of them were known to be very close, and Jimin's silence could indicate that something was being communicated, but not through chat. Sometimes the closest people actually communicate through silence. Maybe they're dealing with something we don't know about, wrote one fan in the online community. As time went on, Jimin's silence, which was initially taken for granted, began to cause serious speculation among fans and even some observers of the Korean entertainment industry. In the midst of a dense and disciplined military routine, the slightest change in behavior from BTS members, especially Jimin and Jungkook, who are known to be very emotionally in sync, became the main highlight. Many fans feel that this is not just about unreturned messages. It's not just a matter of him not replying to the chat, one ARMY veteran said in a fairly popular fan podcast. What worries us is Jungkook's attitude change. Usually, he can mask his emotions by joking or singing, but now he seems to be hiding something. In an audio recording allegedly from the military training site, Jungkook's voice is heard speaking softly to one of the staff. He hasn't replied since yesterday. Despite not mentioning a name, many fans believe the word he refers to Jimin. The short sentence is now a viral quote in the fan community and even made fan art and endless theories. One theory that sticks out is that Jimin may be experiencing severe internal stress. In addition to military demands, Jimin has been known as a figure who is very sensitive to public comments and expectations. It is possible that he chose to step away from communication for a while so that he could process everything on his own without burdening anyone, including Jungkook. However, it was precisely Jimin's choice to remain silent that made Jungkook seem shaken. A fan wrote in the Weverse community, "If Jimin doesn't want to talk to anyone, why does Jungkook look the saddest? Do they have personal conflicts that we don't know about?" Meanwhile, on social media platforms, various footage and stills of Jungkook began to be collected and analyzed. One video from the military rest area shows Jungkook looking up at the night sky while twirling a small necklace believed to be a gift from Jimin. ARMY quickly caught on to the symbolism. Is it a sign of longing? Regrets? or the hope that Jimin will soon return to greet him as before. What makes this situation even more emotional is the fact that Jimin and Jungkook are known as two of the few BTS members who keep in touch often even when they are busy with each other. The two are often seen sending messages of support to each other, sharing little things, and being a place to lean on each other when things get tough. Now, with one side silent and the other agitated, the world seems to be watching a real emotional drama, not fiction. Not a promotional gimmick, but it was a moment of deep human honesty. The army was divided. Some asked all to be patient and respect their privacy, but there are also those who urge HYB to give an explanation or at least reassure the public that all is well. If they need time, we have to give them space. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't worry, said one fan in a widely shared online discussion. On the other hand, some fans actually view this as one of the natural ways the two grew up. We've seen them happy together, joking, even taking care of each other. Perhaps this is part of their maturity. Sometimes, silence is the best way to understand each other more deeply, Jungkook's Japanese fan base wrote. The days went by, and Jimin still hadn't given a sign of life, at least, not in a form that the public or even his fellow members of the group could see. Behind the training barracks, when the night was quiet and only the sounds of nature could be heard, Jungkook became more and more immersed in his own thoughts. No new messages. No word from Jimin. And for the first time since both entered the military, Jungkook felt as if he had completely lost his way. According to an unnamed military staffer, Jungkook was seen talking to himself in the waiting room after a training session. He could be heard muttering, "Did I say something wrong?" The sentence sparked a wave of speculation among fans. Was there a last conversation between them that triggered Jimin's silence? Is Jungkook starting to blame himself? Some longtime fans recalled that Jimin and Jungkook's relationship was often filled with deep emotional dynamics. They're not just co-workers or best friends, they're two people who grew up together under the spotlight, sharing pressures, dreams, and wounds that not everyone understands. And so, when one of them begins to withdraw into himself, the other will feel it painfully in silence. Some army even unpacked old interviews and clips where Jimin once said, "If I'm quiet, it doesn't mean I don't care. When I'm quiet, it's usually because I'm feeling too much." That sentence now feels like an indirect message to Jungkook and to the world. On the other hand, Jungkook began to see a decrease in focus in various training activities. One coach noted that Jungkook had forgotten to bring his equipment during the field session, something that is very unusual for the idol who is known for discipline and perfectionism. When asked, he simply replied briefly, "Sorry, my mind is elsewhere." The statement again became a clear proof of how deep Jimin's influence on Jungkook was. For ARMY, who have been following them for a long time, this is not the first time Jungkook has stalled due to emotions related to Jimin. But the intensity this time was different, deeper, more quietly destroyed. In the online community, one anonymous message appeared claiming to be their close acquaintance. In his writing, he mentions that Jimin may be in a phase where he deliberately disappears for a moment to make room for himself, and it is that not because he is angry or disappointed, but because he is afraid that words actually make things more difficult. The message closes with one evocative sentence: "Sometimes, silence is the only way Jimin survives."